Welcome back, everybody. It's another day at BWU Esports here. I'm Air,
And I'm LT Baron.
and we got more BW CoD coming at you. If you saw the stream title, if you saw the notification, you know why you're here. We've got Academy playing again. They're going to be taking on the Conestoga Condors Academy team. That's the same school that our varsity played on Monday.
Sure was.
And I'm excited for this game. Obviously, the last time that we saw the Academy team, it was, not going to sugarcoat it, not the greatest.
But it was also going to sugarcoat it against St. Clair, one of the teams that's known nationally for their COD program. So
Technically speaking, internationally, because they're Canadian. But, like, yeah, no, that, like, in
I think that
everything,
helps even more.
yeah, but, like, in everything, they're known as one of the best schools. They consistently have the best players. They consistently have some of the best numbers being put up by their players. Like, they are a truly top tier school. They are a truly high quality school. And so it was always going to be an uphill battle whenever any of our teams face St. Clair. It's never an easy battle against St. Clair.
It was just a bit more uphill than we thought, or I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be closer.
I kind of thought it was going to be closer too, I'm going to be honest. Hey, it happens though. We have wrong predictions. But speaking of predictions and speaking about our game, as I said earlier, facing the Conestoga Condors Academy team, they are, I want to say 1-2,
Yep, they are
so
1-2.
they are similar record to
No,
us.
they are 0-2.
0-2, true, we're 1-2. Um, but yeah, they're a school that is a similar record to us, especially within this league. So I expect it to be a very good game.
Yeah, I expect a lot of close fights, a lot of times where it comes to just once again, whoever reacts first, whoever is the one who puts down on the trigger first is the one who usually wins. We saw it. Well, we saw St. Clair be the one that was more reactive and more responsive, but for this one, it could go down to the wire.
Yep. I'm also hoping for a much tighter game. Uh, it should be a great set. Um, like it should be a great set is the main thing with all of this. Both these teams, obviously no slumps. They've each won at least once, so no true like pushover teams
They're
here.
0-2.
What?
They're 0-2.
Oh, never mind. Both these teams are at least like I was gonna say,
Lamau.
my bad, Chief. I called the game wrong. Um,
One of these teams has a win and one doesn't.
all I'm saying. But no, both these teams, as I say, should expect a very good game. I expect it to have like a lot of back and forth. I expect there to be a lot of very good points, a lot of good rotations, and I'm hoping that our team was able to take some of the things that they needed to from that last game and truly bring it into this one. We've got, I don't know if you can see them, we've got some predictions written up on that board. My co-caster here has gone for the 3-1 BW victory.
I
I've
sure
gone
did.
for the 3-2. Um, Either way, we're expecting it to be a W. We're hoping for it to be a W. I think we're always hoping for it to be a
Yeah, we're
W.
always hoping for a W for BW.
But I'm expecting this game to really go the distance. And the one thing that I was talking to this guy in the pre-show about, or before we even got on stream, I was talking to him about it. I am really hoping that our players maybe try something different from the St. Clair match. We,
Yeah, just not even trying, like, yes, trying something different, just something just a bit bigger.
mhm. I was talking about it a lot on the broadcast last time, and I will talk about it a lot while we're here as well. A lot of that game was done on incredibly fast maps, incredibly back and forth, no holds barred type plays. We saw a lot of Skyline and a lot of Protocol. Those are maps that are incredibly fast in this game. I'm hoping to see if we see BW maybe go for something a little bit bigger, you know? Um, Something that has a little bit more space, something that allows our players maybe a little bit more breathing room and a little bit more ability to get lost. Because I think that was one of the main things that was like kind of causing some of the fail, like the fallbacks that we saw coming from BW last game.
I think one important thing, I want to see how they rotate. I want to see how they communicate and play with each other because there was a couple times where it just felt like some people were just left out on their own and they had to deal with the consequences of that. But I just want to see like more communication, more instead of like there is four people. There is enough to do two and two, but if you want to do three and one or something like that, at least that being known. Once again, I'm not in. Well, not once again, but I'm not in their headset. I don't know what they're saying, but it didn't seem like it was as coordinated as it could be. So I want them to. I wanted to improve on that. But not only that, it's also just gunplay. I talked about it last time. I'll talk about it again this time. Just like their aggressive playstyle got them in a lot of interactions, which is what they wanted, but the results of those interactions were unfavorable more times than not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it led to a lot of unfavorable situations, led to a lot of unfavorable outcomes. So what I'm hoping to see, especially if our first map is actually the first map that we are going to be getting within this series, I'm hoping for things to potentially, slow down a little bit. And we've got Vault coming up here, if what I am getting fed is the correct information. Um,
If we are not spreading misinformation,
True, we would not like to spread a misinformation on the internet. We would never lie. Um, but Vault is one of the maps that I was talking about in our pre-show discussion that I would have loved to see. It's a map that allows for, especially if you're feeling it, the team to play hot, the team to play fast. However, it also allows for your team to play much slower, allows you to play those styles that take a little bit more time to truly get into it, truly like take it to them. It's something that I was hoping to see more from the game earlier, but obviously we didn't. So I'm hoping this time we're going to see that. I'm hoping that we are going to see a lot more of that slow gameplay that maybe was missing from our BW players. I'm hoping to see that potentially come out here, especially with a map this size.
yeah, and I'm really inclined to agree, especially just like a difference of both playing your aggro style, but not having what we saw with St. Clair of like one or two people in the back line. Meanwhile, all of St. Clair is picking off the rest of your team.
hmm As I say, and as we get loaded in here, I will say apologies for a little bit of technical stuff going on. The system was not allowing me to swap the headers for some reason. I don't know what was going on, but BW should be labeled as Conestoga. Conestoga will be labeled as BW. It's a little unfortunate. However, we'll try to follow the action as best we can and bring you exactly what is going to be going on here.
And if you have watched the BW stream before, you know those names.
Yep.
It's the same names as they've almost always been.
Yeah. Say, going into this first engagement, BW drops first. They're going to be having two of their players early as the rest of the team looks to take up some of this space. Left alive, going to be able to find one onto the point while the rest of BW has fallen. They are going to be able to flip and take another Conestoga player down with them. With point break potentially here. One, and TJ Fishy able to combine for the third. That is going to be the point now in control of BW as Conestoga now is on the respawn looking for some sort of opening.
And that's exactly what I mean by the point break was by himself against two, and then TJ Fish just came around from the corner and was able to clean up that other one.
Say point break here, unfortunately going to be dropping down, but it is going to be still BW with a good amount of time on this first point. Moving into this second hill, this is one of the big hills for time. Unfortunately, Hotown going to be dropping down. It's going to be up to the rest of the BW players to find their footing in this back point. Point break, able to get the first, unfortunately met by two. TJ Fish getting onto point, finding the first, and going out for the second, but he unfortunately will not find it.
Yeah, slid right into two people waiting for him right there. Not the result he wanted, but he was able to do damage, and K9 able to capitalize to be on point.
Yep, K9 able to get on point, able to get a little bit of scraps on point. Unfortunately, going to be dropping down. BW will be able to trade it, and both TJ Fishy and Point Break now on the point. We'll be looking to see what exactly they are able to do. It's going to be Point Break dropping TJ Fishy. All that is left for this BW point. He's able to find nothing, but Hotown and K9 able to find stuff. K9 getting traded out, but TJ Fishy soaking up this time, giving BW a points lead. Unfortunately, TJ Fishy dropping down at the end. But now, it's almost time for a new hill. It's almost time for a new look. BW looks like they have the win. A lot of Conestoga players coming out. Point Break able to get the first, and Hotown able to find the second. He's going to be moving in. Now onto the point. TJ Fishy combining for the third, and it's going to be BW in control now. Conestoga put onto the respawn and seeing what they can do to find something opening.
Yeah, despite what the score says right now, BW does have the lead, and they are holding it really well going into that new hard point.
Hotown unfortunately going to be dropping. Gave BW a lot of time, but that's going to be almost a full team kill. BW on the respawn. Conestoga now looking for some sort of opening. They've gotten some space onto the point as TJ Fishy goes in for that flank. We've got K9 coming up this mid connector. Could find one. Will not. Unfortunately dropping late. BW has gone for almost a full side flip. TJ Fishy and Hotown now in this backline. Hotown not quite finding one. Unfortunately, that one Conestoga player combined for 2 kills onto the BW side. But K9 able to pick up a little bit of time as we move into this 4th kill of the ball. Couple of good things here coming out from Hotown. Point Break trying to find some space. He will not quite drop, but he will get finished right at the end. Hotown picking up his positioning and now looking for a new opening.
Yeah, and something that Conestoga has done is like figure out BW's rotations, and they've really been capitalizing on it. BW was holding the lead early, overwhelming them, but now it looks like they figured something out. So now it's up to BW to not only adjust, but to fix their game plan and even just pick up on what Conestoga is doing.
Hotown able to find a little bit of pace here, not quite finishing any of his kills. He's going to be forced into the back, and unfortunately will be dropped by another one of those Conestoga players, as will TJ Fishy. And for what could have been a much larger hill for Conestoga, they will give up a lot of that time to the middle, and now it will come down to this next rotation. K9 allowing a player to potentially slip by. However, TJ Fishy and Point Break on this upper hold, they will be able to find the better. Hotown going to be dropping in the end, but TJ Fishy and K9 still holding that control. K9 finding one. TJ Fishy now into the mix. He could be going for something a little bit aggressive here. BW taking back control of that point, but unfortunately K9 will be dropping as a point break. With TJ Fish now in a bad situation, will get found out by the Conestoga players.
Yeah, one thing about TJ Fish is that he is always an aggro. He is always an aggressor. As much as I've seen him play, he's the aggressor in almost every scenario. And most of them usually work out, but for that one, just not it.
Yeah, it just didn't quite pan out the way that he would have wanted. But BW now with control at this point, looking towards this next hill. K9 leading the charge, but he will unfortunately drop down. Hotown able to get the trade, but his P2 is going to be top here. Conestoga definitely has the priority to beat it, but I don't know if they're going to be going directly onto this hill. They actually will step on now, getting a little bit of practice. TJ Fishy now looks for this around. He will get taken down by a Conestoga player. Hotown and K9 now the last two players very close. Hotown able to find the first, and that open door could provide a great vantage point. He's going to choose to step up. Conestoga player not able to finish the kill that he started, but Hotown able to survive. TJ Fishy going 1-for-1 with the Conestoga players. Hotown able to find something before getting taken down. Point Break with the trade. Conestoga now back onto this hill, but BW has a lot of space and potentially a lot of kills. Point Break able to find one, goes for the back wrap, but unfortunately will get dropped as BW now approaches from the front.
Yeah, unfortunately something that could have been a big lead ended up in a trade in which still favored Conestoga, but either way, in the end a trade's a trade.
In the end, a trade is a trade. And now this P3, it's something that we've seen BW already do pretty good at holding on. We need to see something a lot more. Again, decent points deficit of 50 here for the side of BW, as this P3 is going to be massive in them getting some more points. TJ Fish was playing on and will be staying on. Hotown able to find a pick in their backline, but TJ Fish will be dropping. Point Break from the heading will have to drop back as he's getting fired at, but a re-challenge. Side will get tags, but no confirmed kills as Hotown moves up, looks for one, sees it, is able to find the first, but will get instantly traded out. TJ Fishy now taking the upper position, gives it a shot, and will have to relinquish control of that as he waits for the rest of his team.
Yeah, one thing that it looks like, it's just every time that a BW player goes down, one of them rotates where the person who's just gone down, which has had pretty mixed results. The most recent one was where Point Break was having that top window point, and then right when he died, TJ Fishy slid right in there, and the guy just stood there and was like, "Oh, there's another one."
Yeah, and as we move towards this P4, BW gets the opening. They're here early. Point Break with the trophy system down could potentially be very good. Unfortunately, Motown dropping, and Point Break will be two. TJ Fishy will not get that kill. K9 will actually pick it up. He's able to find one on the upper. Now looking towards that top, trying to find something. K9 dropping in that back line. Will be looking to see, but unfortunately will not find anything. Conestoga able to find one on Point Break, and it's going to be BW actually able to find two. Hotown and TJ able to combine. K9 now jumping onto this point, potentially challenge here early. One drop. K9 with some tags, but unfortunately two players behind him. He will not expect that. Point Break finds one. The Knicks will not be able to find the second necessary, and Hotown now trying to last time potentially put something on the board, but unfortunately will get dropped. K9 finds the first. Now trying to hold Conestoga back as the hill swaps over to new. BW here with the early positioning. Point Break holding down that position. TJ Fish going to get dropped, as will Point Break now. Conestoga with control of the point, and so will Hotown. It's down to K9 to find something. He'll find one, but will get instantly traded back. Point Break and Hotown are the only ones up for BW. Point Break finding the first, and nobody's on point. He could just jump on here. Able to find the second. He's getting a little bit more time here for the side of BW.
Yeah, and Point Break, once again, just capping that point right now, being able to give BW a bit more of a chance. About like 60 deficit right now, which is not undoable, but it's going to be pretty difficult. But the way that they're playing right now, holding this point, while he doesn't die right there, is still able to put BW in a, my bad, put BW in a pretty favorable position for the moment.
It could put them in a very favorable position. And what we're seeing here is a little bit more of the gunning coming out for the side of BW. Players now double digits. Hotown able to duck, dive, and able to get that kill. His pistol unable to find anything. Around K9 dropping as well. Hotown, he's maybe found a gap here. Finding one. The player in the back is going to need to get dropped. He will. Point Break. Third. Hotown with the third. It's a little bit of damage. It's a little bit of potential. Point Break now dropping as we see the rest of BW playing around this hill. In the back, he will drop out, as with the rest of BW. Point Break now the last. Conestoga not quite able to win it. Will need to be soaking up this time, and they'll be looking a little bit at P3. So if BW extend this to play perfect. Hotown. First one looked great. Second one, not as much. Point Break now. Playing for the next position, trying to get BW a little bit into that driver's seat. K9 coming from middle. Player, but will not get the kill. Not quite finding the first, getting a lot of damage, but forcing him out. However, getting time. The rest of BW looks to play around the position. Getting the pick on one, as will TJ Fishy, and the slide in and out of the hill means Hotown is taking up that time as Point Break goes for another potential move as he will find the second. Hotown still on as BW will actually choose to vacate the premises, try to go a little bit aggressive, but this could be fatal. Hotown will drop down, and now Hotown needing to find first, but will get traded out. Point Break and TJ on that aggression. Both dropping. And Conestoga, I don't believe they will have the time here, but they will put themselves, especially after that, very good position for this final. Playing up will get dropped, but no time left here for Conestoga. They get the beat, and they will not start to take any. Point Break and Hotown will get dropped down. K9 going aggressive, but will not find anything. And now it's Conestoga in the point. 7 seconds left. Finishing in early, able to find the pick and start to soak up that time for BW. Next slides in, he's able to find the pick. BW he can't quite find the third, and it's going to need to be K9 and Point Break. But on this team, K9 finds the first. Point Break drop. The turn will not connect. And that's Conestoga. No matter what the scoreline says,
Yep.
that is Conestoga taking the first. Again, it's messed up. That's my bad.
As much as we wanted to say BW,
As much as
it's
we wanted to say
Conestoga.
BW, it is Conestoga. It is my bad. The program wasn't letting me flip it for some reason. The settings just like gone. Oh, this is amazing. Maybe something.
This is definitely an Activision game.
It truly is. It truly is. So, map number one, obviously, not the exact way that we would have liked it to go. However, we actually saw a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, we saw a lot of great things, especially like just the rotations. They started like they looked a bit rocky after they adjusted. I mean after Conestoga adjusted, but then right when BW was able to like, okay, this is what they're picking up on,
Hmm.
they flipped the script. And especially like they were once they were down, once Conestoga was in the 200 230 range, BW was like, okay, we're not, this isn't about to end before we hit 100. And
Hmm.
then it started racking up, and then they went to 150 and then 170, and just like especially those points, that last one where TJ Fishy had clutched up that that 1v1,
Hmm.
and the other Conestoga player sliding right into TJ's open arms,
Yeah.
was able to stall it just for a bit, but unfortunately not enough. But like you said, a lot of potential, a lot of things that like even from 2 days ago see improvement.
Yep. A lot of the gunny that I'm seeing here, especially, is looking a lot sharper and a lot more, solid. We're seeing a lot more of the stuff that potentially was missing last time. Um, we're seeing that really, really show up here. And we're seeing a lot of that and a lot of it fast, which is really good to see, especially moving into this next game mode, Search and Destroy. It's a lot slower. It's a lot, especially depending on what map you pick, it's going to be a lot slower. It's going to be a lot more about how can you outgun the other opponents. And although maybe in an overall sense, Conestoga was outgunning BW, BW had a lot of clutch moments, a
Yeah.
lot of 1v3s that really shouldn't have panned out in their favor, but ended up being exactly that, in their favor. It was an incredibly great thing to see come out of this side of BW, and it gives me a lot of good feeling going into this map 2, this map 3, potentially even the map 4 and the map 5 as we get later into the series.
Yeah, there's a reason why you put 3-2, because you didn't expect the sweep.
I did not expect it to be down early. I expected it to be a long, long run, and it's looking exactly like that. We're getting exactly what I was hoping for. A great, great, you know, combination of plays, a great combination of skills that everyone is showing, and it's exactly what I could have asked for. A very good BW Academy squad looking, you know, obviously not winning that first map, but still putting up great numbers, putting up what could be a great expectation coming into the next map
Yeah, and obviously that was map one out of potentially five.
out of potentially
So
five.
if they're looking good now and they're being able to not only keep up but improve on the fly right now, then who's to say they can't do it on map two, map three, map four, and etc.
Exactly. It's a, I was going to say, it's a marathon. It's never a sprint. And what we need to see is BW continue to keep that pace, not let their foot off the gas, not try to slow down. It's all about getting that set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to cut to a short break here. Lobby's getting reset, everything getting remade. All the players are going to be back in their positions, and we'll come right back at you with map 2 of this CCL matchup, BW versus Conestoga. Don't go anywhere. Map number 2 here for BW versus Conestoga Academy. This time, if I'm not mistaken, BW players should be on the BW Academy side. So when you see BW win a round, that's good this time. That's very good this time.
That's the thing that we want this time.
That is exactly what we want. That's what we always want. But we
Exactly.
want the score line to show it too. We want the stat line to say BW Acad round win.
And it does look like the scoreline is correct, so that's already a win on the board for BW.
Let's go. But like I was talking about in the pre-round, this is search and destroy. So what this game mode is really built around is those bomb plants and those bomb defusals. And what this map protocol gives you, that bomb planted at A that you see at the top of your screen, get ready to see that a lot, because that's the strategy of this map. BW here, obviously early taking it. It's going to be a 4-4 close plan for the side. TJ Fishy able to get the first. Conestoga, unfortunately, able to trade it back as they will find another. It's all down to K9 and Point Break. K9 playing at the back of the bomb site. He's going to get a lot of tags. Force one of the Conestoga players to back off, but he will drop down. It's all down to Point Break at the end of this side. 17 seconds left, however, and the Conestoga players are just going to stuff him, and they will have enough time to complete this first defusal.
Yeah, it was going really well until, at least to me, like right when the 3v1 and K9 just did the slide right in. Omni movement's good, but not when you use the Omni movement to 3 different bullets.
Yeah, I was going to say that causes a little bit of trouble. However, again, what we saw was
It was a great start. It was a great.
it was a very good start. 4-4 and getting the initial pick is an amazing way to start that round off. However, we needed to see a little bit more conversion when it came down to that later round. Obviously, as we see at the stat line, TJ Fishy getting that first kill, but unfortunately, unable to find much more than that. And now as we move into the BW defense, one of the things that has to be going through their mind is Conestoga doing the exact same thing back to them. And it doesn't look like it's going to be quite that, however, we will have one dropping down. K9 and TJ Fish playing this high-low, playing this set. However, Hotown going to be dropping early, and his Point Break watches that outer. Get a lot of tags onto the player, but he will not find the kill. But Conestoga now with a player potentially in the back line, as one will be coming in the tight line of TJ Fish. He will be able to find the first. And now it's an even game here for BW. K9 playing that upper position. But now the Conestoga players wrapping around, going that long distance, looking potentially for that B bomb site. And Point Break now is the closest man, will potentially, as he leaves that angle, go around looking towards that B site. He'll get spotted by one, and the bomb will go down. BW now in the forced to retake. K9 will have to trade out TJ, and he will. 2v2 here for the side of BW. It's going to be Point Break and K9.
Now it comes down to which duo is better, Point Break and K9 or Iron Wing and I'm not pronouncing that.
I don't even know how you say that.
I'm sorry.
K9 is rolling around, unfortunately unable to get onto the defuse, and now Point Break left in the 1v2, and he will get turned on by both of the Conestoga players. That is another round for the side of Conestoga. And a little unfortunate, I'll say. I don't know exactly how I would have liked that to be played better. Maybe a little bit more pace from BW. I like the slow play, but I think at a certain point you have to realize that if you're just sitting there and they're not at your bomb site, they're not coming to your site, buddy.
Yeah.
They're not going to be there.
But I did like the change of pace. It wasn't just immediately like within 30 seconds the whole team is down. It was just slow and steady winning the race, and even though it didn't win that one, it kept it much closer.
Talk about the entire team going down. It's another one of these fast A planes here coming out for the side of BW. Conestoga have dealt with this before, so we need to see how is BW going to change up their pace. TJ Fish able to find the first. Unfortunately, K9 dropping almost simultaneously, so it's going to stay a 3v3 here for the side of BW. Point Break playing that position, and Hotown on what could be a very important lurk here, playing back, is going to find a second player for the side of BW. It's a 3v2. Now they need to let Conestoga move in and make the mistake. Hotown playing very far back. He's going to be incredibly outside of this action. But as Conestoga, they may be sitting too long on this. It's a 7-second defuse, and with only 10 seconds left, I don't believe they'll have time. Especially now with TJ Fishy and I think Point Break combining for those last two.
Yeah, neither not enough time nor not enough players right there.
That's a round on the board for Academy. That's what we like to see.
And TJ Fish, the 4-2 KD, or well 4-2 overall, but picking up the pace right there with TJ with the final kill, and now what, like you said, BW's on the board, and that could be a first of many.
Exactly. High impact plays there for TJ Fishy, getting into that power position very fast. Now, what I would love to see is a replication of that coming into this offensive round, or this defensive round. We've got, it looks like a similar setup here coming out for TJ Fishy and K9. However, Hotown going to be taking more of the initial opening, and it's going to be Conestoga going for this early plant. TJ Fishy with the first and finds the second. K9 able to combine for that, and it's all left down to I Am Wing for Conestoga. And now it's just BW sitting in wait. I Am Wing now has to make the move. And with BW with bomb control as well, this round is almost unlosable.
Yeah, this one, I Am Wing is going to have to pull something really good to even make this close, let alone winnable.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull a very big rabbit out of his hat, and Hotown is able to combine.
Instead, he got some bullets.
Exactly. 2-2, he's the scoreline here now. BW Academy bringing it back to Conestoga with 2 rounds in a row of their own. And what I love to see there is kind of what I talked about in their first defensive round. It's almost what I thought was that fall down, the inability to really go for a play. TJ Fishy was like, you know what? I see that first guy. I'm swinging into that hallway and getting the second.
Yeah, and that's exactly what changed the style. I mean, what changed the pace of that one as well, because it's not only just, okay, I'm going to go in guns blazing. It was that, and because K9 was lurking right next to him in a bit of a slower pace, was able to get that third.
And now what we see here is almost a fake. It's TJ Fishy throwing out the same util that they did last time, but a lot of that was BW players sticking up height, potentially going for something a little bit sneakier here, as we see some of the Conestoga players now fanning out incredibly far. This could be very good or very bad for BW. They need to not let themselves get isolated by these Conestoga players. Fortunately, K9 dropping, and Hotown will get turned on. That's going to leave it in a 2v2, a 1v4, and now a no v4. Conestoga able to clean that round up.
Yeah, it was. Now that one is just like, kind of, that was the turtle round. We had a lot of rabbits. We had a lot of faster paced rounds. But then that one, Conestoga's like, you know what? Let's be the tempo setters. Let's be the one where we're the ones that's being aggressive. And it pulled to Conestoga's favor for that one. But 2 more.
2 more. It's still
or 2 more for Conestoga, but
well, it's going to take 3
right
more
there
for Conestoga. It's to 6.
Oh. See, this is why I'm smash.
Me press stick, stop, go, bye-bye.
Me do button in life go by.
Exactly. Now Conestoga here actually going for a very aggressive play out. Everyone essentially running straight to that B bomb site. And
Are
now,
we sure these are the right teams? It looks like they switched from last time.
I know, right? But now Conestoga able to get that bomb plant down on B, and it's going to be down to BW figuring out what the game plan is. Hotown lays in wait in a very crucial position. What could end up being a high impact play. Will not find anything. However, the side of TJ Fishy and K9 now in the lowers. They're going to have to explode at some point, and Hotown decided to make his jump. He will get taken down by I Am Wing. K9 now will go out of the door and slip past the Conestoga player, but he will get the kill. Now it's all down to TJ Fish. It's going to be an impossible task. A 1v4 with the Jackal, it's doable, but at those ranges, absolutely not. That is another round for Conestoga. A 4-2 lead here as we go into BW's 4th attacking round.
Yeah, and Chaco Bacco with that crucial kill right there, because DJ was already rotating the helicopter with that thrown concussion, and after that one, who knows what would have happened.
Who knows what would have happened. But now, it's another round here for BW. Another one on the cards. A potential for another attacking round. Another 2-string even, as we saw last time. And it's looking like a response back to Old Faithful. TJ Fishy down K9 as well. However, K9 is going to get dropped early. TJ Fishy able to get out. The Conestoga player, as one of BW's own was able to drop. TJ Fishy gets one, not quite equaling it out, but a 2v3 is a lot more doable than a 2v4. It's going to be TJ Fishy and Point Break, both players in lower, as Conestoga swarms around trying to find where the next may be. Bomb is going to go down at A.
Yeah, I don't think Conestoga was expecting them to be right next to each other or rotating to the same place for the both of them. But now that it did, how are they going to respond?
Yeah. And if it's anything like last time, this could be very detrimental. Beat up TJ Fishy, a little bit of tags, throw system, able to catch 2 grenades. And TJ Fishy going up height, will be tagged for a lot, able to find one as Point Break drops. It's going to be TJ Fishy with the movement, able to get out, but not able to secure the kill. Conestoga with the time will now go up 5-2.
Yeah, and even though it is 5-2, there's been a lot of times where it's been close. It's been right there,
Incredibly
and
close.
I don't know if that makes it frustrating or rewarding because these ones are doable.
I think it's a little bit of both. You see how close you're able to make it, especially when you throw a movement late when it just doesn't come across the line. And put it in your terms, it's like getting somebody up to like over 200 and still not taking that stock. You know you can put the numbers on the board, you just can't quite put it together.
Hmm.
I mean, but like if you're getting somebody up to 200 with Ike, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing wrong. Like what is going on, man?
Literally throwing.
Exactly. What could end up being the final round here for BW's Academy team. And TJ Fishy is going to be laying in wait. He's actually going to be pulling out the RCXD here. This could end up being very big. However, it will not connect onto anything. And while he's doing that, I Am Wing picks up one. He's able to get the trade, but it's down to a 2v3. Another one of these rounds. Now it's TJ Fishy and Hotown. Players that have shown their ability to score, but unfortunately TJ Fishy will drop. Now it's all down to Hotown. The 1v3 for BW's life in this game. It's not quite the full drop, but it will put them down, requiring a reverse sweep if they wish to win this series.
And now Hotown might be might be the time to go in guns blazing. Once again, they have the bomb planted, but that is a pick.
It's a team kill. The pick on the RCXD is able to get it. With 25 left, he needs to start moving now.
That was
He needs
totally
to
planned.
isolate these two. Oh, 100%, absolutely. One player to his left, one player to his right. He's going to need to figure out how he wants to go for this defuse. 15 left on the clock. Isolate the player in spiral, but he will not connect. Conestoga 6-2. That is a 2-0 lead for the Condors. And now BW's got a reverse sweep. We like to make it interesting here.
Yeah, definitely. I like once again. I feel like I've said this way too many times at this point, but we see it in Overwatch, we see it in Smash, we're seeing it right now. BW likes to keep it interesting by starting off down.
We like to make it a little bit cool.
We know we're live. We want to make content.
We want the clips.
But in all seriousness, this is like all of those came down to 2v1 or I mean 2v1 or 1v3 situations, which could have been doable if it was just for if it wasn't just for some minor changes.
Mhm.
This could have been favoring 6-2 BW as it was 6-2 Conestoga.
Easily. Rounds that just got brought down to the wire, and for one reason or another, just BW could not quite pull out. But again, like we discussed before, still very good signs.
Hmm.
BW able to keep it this tight, being just one or two little movements off. It's frustrating, obviously, but in the same way that it's frustrating, it's fueling. You're just that close. You're just that little bit off.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fire in the team, and these games being close, that's more fuel to it. But you gotta let it burn, and sometimes that burning is capitalizing on something.
Exactly. And as we get lobby set up here for game three, it is going to be a round of control. It looks like we're going to be taking a trip back to Vault, which I'm actually kind of excited for. Vault is a map that they actually showed very good, like, understanding of how to play it. And the hope is that they're able to bring that back. The hope is that they're able to actually, again, bring it to Conestoga.
Yeah, and it might have been the game mode more than it had been the map because they're going back to it, and once again, they looked good. They showed. I hate using the word potential at this point, but they showed potential for it. But now you got to capitalize.
Exactly. Vault is a map that's going to allow them to play a little bit slower, but it is going to require great gameplay coming out of both the ARs and the subs in this team. And we saw pretty good pressure from both of them. It's just a matter of putting it together at the same time. We saw Point Break go a little bit quiet in that search, but we saw the sub of TJ Fishy really step up and almost be able to fill that void. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially like the way that I like the duo of TJ Fish and I believe it's Point Break or Canine of the both of them, just the way that they're both running with each other, one plant or doing a duo of one planting, one pretty much defending the planter. There was a lot of BW leads because of that. They didn't lead to they didn't lead to all of the points or things on the scoreboard that you want to see, but it was still a good rotation. That
Mhm.
duo right there did a lot of work and a lot of plants for BW.
Yep, it showed a lot of very good like understanding of how this game is played and understanding of how lines in the sand are drawn. They were very good at setting that pace early. What we just need to hope for, and what we would like to see, is that to be set again. And just like last time, as we talk about again, we're going to go to another short break as we get lobby set back up in here. But again, we're going to be going into map 3, control, BW versus Conestoga. And game number 3 in this potential full slate, full length best of 5 here for the side of BW. We're going to bring it back to Vault here. It's a map that they have obviously shown a, uh, a liking to, and it's a map that we've shown good good signs on. BW is actually going to be on the Academy label, so when BW does good, that's a good thing. Moving into this first point here, this first round of control, it's going to be all about how does BW decide to set the pace, and unfortunately it's going to be set by a double nade from Conestoga. Point breaking K9 able to rotate very fast, able to get out of what could be a very bad situation. But now that Conestoga has that forward pace, they're going to be putting BW into a very bad spawn trap. However, TJ Fish and Point Break able to confine for 2 now on this B site. Potentially rolling. K9 first, unable to find the second. And Point Break and TJ Fish back. Point Break able to get the second up. Not even the position on the B site. However, TJ Fish able to bring it right back over to the A site. Potentially draw some of Conestoga's positioning. K9 will find him first, gets stunned, but he will not drop as Conestoga elects to go up.
And with that upper, he gets picked by them as well. And once again, K9 is still on point, pretty uncontested. And when he did, he took one.
He's able to find the first and able to find the second. And it's going to be the point secured for BW as they move over towards this B site. And this is where we see a lot of these games come down to just a brawl on the B site. And it's really looking like it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, get ready for these lives remaining to start dropping flies.
Yep, as Conestoga finds 3, Point Break able to find one in turn, but unfortunately that one player in the BW backline is going to end up becoming a problem. As soon as I say that, K9 drops him. And now BW with free range, potentially a Conestoga player coming into that back line will get the point onto K9 himself, but TJ Fish finds one lying in the way, able to get the trade for his teammate. And now BW trailing on lives, 13-19 with this one control point. No progress at it yet. It's going to have to be it's a long road back for BW, not just in this round, but potentially in this game. Hotown able to find the first, now potentially looking for some sort of opening.
Yeah, and they're just sorry, there's just a lot of times where it just looks like both teams are just sneaking up on each other, and just right where it looks like that it's time for somebody to shoot or somebody to make a trade. Conestoga so far has been winning them, but it hasn't been by much.
No, it has not been. And now Point Break, last one on the point, will get taken down. Is quite there to support, and even when they are, I am Wing on a heater, able to find two. K9 finds the first, quite able to connect onto the second. And it's going to be 6-14 lives for BW with 40 seconds left, and that's going to be BW brought down to only 4 lives. No respawns remaining. I am Wing taken down on a 5 streak, and BW able to find 2. They need to play this slow, but with pressure. 30 seconds left on the timer for BW, looking for some action. It is going to be a Conestoga player in the backline, taken down by Hotown. Really a team effort by those from the Academy squad. But 15 left. It's going to be tight. Point Break now taken down for good. He will not be back in this round. With only 8 seconds left, so might the rest of BW. K9 finding the first. TJ Fishy able to get onto main stand, and there's another one on the side. Hotown able to get in, but will get taken down. It's all down to K9, and I don't believe he has the time.
Yeah, but yeah, just right when it came to that open point, those lives just started dropping, and Conestoga, especially I am Wing, kind of just looked like he just woke up. He was like, "Okay, guys,
this is getting a little too close, you know."
Yeah.
And as we see from this play, it's really exactly what it looks like. Just individual gunning coming out for Conestoga and coming out hard. And we'd love to see BW be able to respond.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, BW does have players that can do that as well. TJ Fishy showed that in the Search and Destroy. He has been the main initiator, and within that initiation, he usually does well. He doesn't win more than he doesn't win like 70% of the time, but he does those fights, and he does win pretty consistent. He does win pretty well.
I was say he's a great player for us as he finds that first. He finds the second from Conestoga. K9 able to find one. It's all down to one. They've gotten one position here on B, but they're able to clean up the rest of the kills. K9 on a 5 streak here, and what could end up being very good. He has the RCXD in the back pocket, but it's really that cruise missile that he'll be looking for. And now Conestoga on this slower play, player in the back line. Hotown going to run into him. Not going to quite be able to find the kill. TJ Fishy not going to get the trade, nor will he be able to win his first. And K9 deep in this back line might not be expected. He's going to find one. Not quite able to find the second, but he actually will connect in late. And now Conestoga runs up to him, able to drop him down. Point Break playing far back for this spawn trap, but unfortunately Conestoga just got past. Hotown able to find the first, but he needs to find this player. Dropping back from B. K9 will get dropped. Point Break still in position. TJ Fishy able to find one. Looking around, looking to see what he can do. Defending the B site, moving around, trying to slip and slide, find these Conestoga players and what they may do. Now, getting this progress at A, it's going much faster than I think the BW players could have anticipated, and it's going to be the full capture of A here for Conestoga. K9 looking to get a second one with the pistol, he will find it. And now, Conestoga needs to capture this B point, which I think we saw last time become a bloodbath, but unfortunately these positions from Conestoga have been incredibly good. Now, taking that upper art control forces a lot of BW off the positions. Hotown able to find the first, but a Conestoga player will collapse right on him. And now TJ playing from the double door slides back into the stun, but the player will get taken down by K9. K9 will get traded out though. A life lead for BW and a necessary one at that. Point Break coming back into the action now, playing with TJ Fishy. in this competition. Hotown not quite dropping, but I Am Wing able to finish him off. Canine coming out of nowhere, finding the first, sees the second, able to connect, but doesn't find the third. Conestoga back on this B site, not quite getting that second tick of progress, but they will be incredibly close. Point Break finding the first. It's just a all-out brawl here on the B bomb site.
Yeah, and once again, we see the same thing. Like BW round one had a pretty, like it wasn't marginal, but it had a pretty good lead before they went on to B site, and then that was when Conestoga turned it around. BW, the lead was just a bit bigger, and once again, Conestoga's turning it around.
Truly are. 26 seconds left on the timer. If they're able to get back control of this B site, it's very hard for Conestoga to bring it back. However, a full team wipe for BW is going to call all the Conestoga players onto the point. It's going to be very hard for them to touch back if they do have the time, but I don't believe they do. Conestoga up 2-0. Unfortunate is true. And again, it's like we were talking about. I Am Wing. He's woken up. He's decided that this game will end here. And picks onto the two BW players. And through the rest of it, just plays an incredibly solid game. BW Acad now needing to reverse sweep in this game, not just in this series.
Yeah, and this is where it starts. Once again, you can't. Right now, you can't settle for close. You gotta. Yes, these games look great. Yes, they look like they're winnable, but to prove that they're winnable, you have to win one.
True. Conestoga, fortunately, coming out of the gates hot, dropping two of the BW players and the third. Point Break was able to slip the net and get into the half line. Will get dropped as well. It's a full reset here for BW, and although they're able to find one pick, they're not able to find much else. The placement has not been great. Hotown able to spot out one, two, Point Break dropping as well. Canine able to get the pick as Hotown decides to dodge, duck, dip, and dive. Side will not find him. TJ Fishy picking up one on the far right side, but it's a seven life lead here. I almost said seven stock. A 7 life lead here for Conestoga that will play. Can Hotown find this first? He will be able to. With 27 seconds left on the board. Hotown finding a few, as will TJ Fishy. This needs to be the go button that he's looking for the entire time. Hotown getting a little bit of bullets in his back, but he's able to jump on it.
Yeah, just shaking it off.
Yeah, just shaking it off. He's trying to get a little bit of something, but
Didn't shake that one off.
He was not able to, unfortunately. Finds one, unable to find the second. Will get traded out by Point Break, but 9 seconds left on the timer. It's looking very dire here for BW, as they will all get taken out. There will be almost no time.
0.1.
Tyler TJ Fish gets onto the point, but there's one to touch. They're on base site. It's back and forth. Head drop could be dangerous if somebody were to get picked, but Point Break now is sitting on them, able to get the first tick back. It could be a monumental comeback. They have to start now. There's one player left. It's TJ Fish, but as he gets picked, Conestoga closes the map out. And with that, they close the game out. 3-0.
Yeah, but what a fight, especially at the end. Just if they were able to convert that just a bit earlier, great camping. But if those were just converted just a bit earlier, this could have been a different story, which I feel like really was just the tale of how the series went.
I feel like that was the tale of the game. Close, but not close enough.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate to say, but again, it happens. These games, especially close games, they're great for learning. You're gonna learn way more from a loss than you ever will a win. And that's an exact show. What we saw was a lot of great stuff here. The hard point was actually very good, especially in those dying moments. Unfortunately, we just needed to see that a little bit faster. The search, we saw a lot of good stuff, just not quite enough.
I was going to say I do like their improvement on especially search and hardpoint. So that one I feel like you just got to iron out a couple of specific things. But that first one, that control, it wasn't horrible, but I feel like that is out of the three the one that they need to work on the most. Or maybe they just had to get their feet underneath them. But either way, it was right there. You could see the momentum shifting right when it became hardpoint, right when it became search and destroy. Like those first couple moments, it was BW favored,
It
but
truly
right when
was.
it turned around, it had a very nasty swing.
It really did. But again, it showed a lot of great stuff. A very good improvement from that St. Clair match. Because obviously, those are some of the top dogs in the league. And BW showed that they can truly take it to them. But that is going to be all for that. If you want to check out more of these guys, obviously Mondays and now starting up on Wednesdays, we're going to
Yep,
be having Call of Duty. But if you want to see more of us, the weekend's coming around. You know what that means. It's
it's game
time. Well,
day
yeah, it's time for us to yap about Smash.
and Overwatch.
That too. But obviously, that means Glut Game Day is going to be coming up. That's the Great Lakes Esports Conference. It's the one that we always love to be here for and always love to cast. Our first game is obviously always going to be Smash. They're going to be taking on Tiffin, if I remember
They sure
correctly.
are.
Big game, big, um, big statements going into postseason, looking at potential. And our Overwatch team will also be playing. I'm going to be fully honest. I
Don't
forgot what
know,
team they were playing. I looked at it before the start of the broadcast. Fully forget. I'm sorry,
but
guys.
it will be here,
It
so
will
you'll
be
find
here,
out.
and we will be here talking about it. Yeah, that's all for us here on this stream. It's been Error and El Tiburon bringing you this action. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You got anything to say?
Just make sure that you tune into this Saturday, and after that, a lot more of these streams are going to be pumping out. So keep showing up. We're going to keep having them no matter what. So yeah, just stay tuned for more.
Hey, we'll be here. We'll be calling the game. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure bringing these games to you. We'll see you all next time. Peace out.